Ever wondered if miracles only exist in stories? Or do they show up in our daily lives too? Welcome to our exploration of miracles in daily life. Often when we think of miracles, we picture grand, earth-shattering events. But miracles are not always colossal. They can be found in the mundane, in the everyday happenings that we often overlook. They're the unexpected blessings, the moments of grace. So, keep an open mind as we explore the miracles in our daily lives through the lens of the Bible. Imagine attending a wedding and the wine runs out. What would you do? Would it be a disaster? Let's dive into the pages of the Bible, specifically John chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. This narrative unfolds at a wedding feast in Cana, where, as you might imagine, the wine runs out. The mother of Jesus, Mary, noticing the predicament, whispers the situation to her son. Jesus, seemingly unbothered by the issue at first, responds that his hour has not yet come. However, Mary, full of faith, instructs the servants to do whatever Jesus tells them. Picture this: 6 stone water jars, each with a capacity of 20 to 30 gallons. These vessels weren't for storing fine wine, but for ritual purification, filled with plain, ordinary water. Jesus instructs the servants to fill the jars to the brim. They comply without question, and then he directs them to draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet. And here's where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The master of the banquet tastes the water that was turned into wine. He didn't know where it came from, but we do. He calls the bridegroom aside and commends him for saving the best wine until now, a deviation from the norm of serving the best wine first and the cheaper wine after guests have had too much. This story is rich with symbolism and lessons. At its core, it's a tale of transformation, of the mundane into the miraculous through the intervention of Jesus. It shows that God cares about our daily needs and social predicaments, even those we might dismiss as trivial or unworthy of divine intervention. It's a testament to the power of faith and obedience as demonstrated by Mary and the servants, and it's a precursor to the greatest transformation yet to come, the offering of salvation through Christ. So, next time you find yourself in what seems like a hopeless situation or a social disaster, remember the wedding at Cana. Remember the water turned into wine. Miracles can occur often in the most unexpected of ways. This story tells us that even in what may seem like a social disaster, miracles can occur. What if one day, someone who has never seen the world starts seeing everything clearly? Quite a thought, isn't it? This is not just a philosophical question, but a reality that happened in the life of a man born blind, as narrated in the book of John chapter 9, verses 1 through 7. In this story, we see Jesus, the protagonist of miracles, coming across a man who had been blind from birth. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Jesus replied, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him." And so Jesus spat on the ground, made some mud, and applied it to the blind man's eyes. He then directed him to go wash in the pool of Siloam. When the man did as he was told, he came back seeing. This miracle, like all others performed by Jesus, holds a profound significance. It's not about the spectacle of the act, but the transformative power it possessed. The man who had never seen a sunrise, the faces of his loved ones, or the colors of a rainbow, was given a gift that changed his life forever. He was not just physically healed, but also spiritually enlightened. But there's more to it. This miracle teaches us about the divine compassion of Jesus and his ability to bring about change in our lives, no matter how impossible it seems. It serves as a reminder of the hope we must hold on to, especially in times of adversity. What's more, this miracle is a testament to the fact that our circumstances, no matter how challenging, are not a punishment but an opportunity for God's grace to manifest. It teaches us that miracles are not just about changing water into wine or feeding thousands with a few loaves and fish. They're about transformation, hope, and the manifestation of divine love in our lives. This story assures us that no matter our circumstances, miracles of healing can occur. And not just physical healing, but also that of the heart, the mind, and the spirit. Ever been in a situation where you have more guests than food, and yet everyone left satisfied? Picture this. You're in a remote location with a crowd of about 5,000 people. There's a certain air of anticipation and curiosity. They've all gathered here to hear a man named Jesus speak. His teachings are captivating and his wisdom truly profound. As the day unfolds, you realize that you only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish to feed this massive crowd. But here's the kicker. Jesus isn't worried. He's calm, collected, and confident. This is the setting of a well-known miracle recorded in the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verses 13 to 21. Here we see Jesus perform a miracle that defies logic and challenges our understanding of the possible. With only 5 loaves and 2 fish, he feeds a crowd of 5,000 men, not including women and children. Now, this wasn't a case of everyone taking a tiny crumb and going home still hungry. No, they all ate and were satisfied. And there was still plenty left over. 12 baskets full of leftover bread and fish were collected after everyone had eaten their fill. This miracle wasn't just about feeding the physical hunger of the crowd, but also about demonstrating God's abundance and provision. But let's dive a bit deeper here. This miracle wasn't performed in a palace or a city with abundant resources. It happened in a remote place, far from the convenience and abundance of the city. This setting emphasizes that the miracle wasn't dependent on the location or the available resources. It was all about faith and reliance on God's provision. This story is a powerful reminder that scarcity doesn't limit God's ability to provide. Even when the odds seem stacked against us, when our resources are stretched thin, and the situation seems impossible, miracles can happen. God can multiply our little into much. So the next time you're faced with a seemingly impossible situation, remember the miracle of the feeding of the 5,000. Remember that even in the face of scarcity, miracles of provision can happen. Ever face a situation where you felt like you were thrown into a den of lions? Well, this is exactly what happened to Daniel, a man of unyielding faith in God, in the 6th chapter of the book of Daniel. Life was not a cakewalk for Daniel. He was living in a society where his faith was considered a crime. Yet he stood tall, refusing to compromise his devotion to God. His unwavering faith, however, landed him in an unimaginable situation. Daniel was thrown into a den filled with ravenous lions, a punishment for praying to God, which was against the king's decree. Now you might be wondering, how did Daniel survive? Well, that's where the miracle comes in. God, in his infinite mercy and power, shut the mouths of the lions, protecting Daniel from their deadly jaws. Yes, you heard it right. In a den full of hungry lions, Daniel emerged unscathed. This Bible story is not just about Daniel's survival, it's about the power of faith and the miracles that can come from it. Daniel's faith in God was so strong that even when he was facing certain death, he did not waver. His faith, in turn, led to a miracle that saved his life. But what's the takeaway from this story? It's that miracles can offer us protection in our lives. Just like Daniel, we all face our own lions, situations that seem impossible to overcome. But remember, miracles don't always have to be grand gestures. They can be as simple as finding strength in the face of adversity or receiving support when we least expect it. This story of Daniel serves as a powerful reminder that even when we feel surrounded by danger or uncertainty, miracles are possible. So next time you feel like you're in a lion's den, don't lose hope. Keep your faith strong, just like Daniel did. This story demonstrates that even in the face of danger, miracles of protection can occur. So keep believing and you just might witness your own miracle. So do we experience miracles in our daily lives? Absolutely. Let's take a moment to recap. We've journeyed through the miraculous transformation of water into wine, a testament to the power of faith and divine intervention. This miracle reminds us that even in the mundane, like a simple gathering, extraordinary things can happen. Then we visited the story of the blind man, a powerful illustration of healing and restoration. Each day we encounter instances of recovery and healing, be it physical, emotional, or mental. These are miracles in their own right. We've also reflected on the feeding of the 5,000, a miracle of abundance and provision. It's echoed in our daily lives when we find ourselves with just enough even in times of scarcity. In the tale of Daniel in the lion's den, we learned about divine protection. Each day we are shielded from dangers seen and unseen, a miracle that we often take for granted. Each of these biblical miracles has a counterpart in our everyday lives. It's these moments, these instances of divine intervention that we often overlook. We get so caught up in the grandeur of miracles in the Bible that we forget to recognize the miracles happening right under our noses. Remember, miracles are not always grand spectacles. Sometimes they are the little blessings we experience every day. Keep your eyes open, for miracles happen every day. Thank you for joining us on this journey through miracles in daily life, a biblical perspective. Your time and support mean the world to us. If you've enjoyed this exploration of miracles in the Bible and their counterparts in our daily lives, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to our channel for more enlightening content. We have a whole library of videos exploring different aspects of faith, spirituality, and the Bible that we think you'll love. In the end, we hope this video has opened your eyes to the miracles that happen around us every day. Remember, miracles are not always grand spectacles. Sometimes they are the little blessings we experience every day. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing. Until next time, take care.